After over a decade in the making, 7 Days to Die 1.0 is launching in just a few days' time. Now, this weekend started on June the 21st with the 7 Days to Die 1.0 streamer weekend. Now, I was supposed to be streaming tonight, but unfortunately, my internet has not been holding up at all. It took me, I think it was 4 hours to upload a video yesterday that was just a few minutes long. So unfortunately, internet has shut itself, but 1.0 is almost here. So I'm very excited for that, and we will continue our 7 Days to Die runs every Sunday at 10 PM. Now, the 1.0 date is officially the 25th of July. On the 28th of July, it is a tentative date. The console 1.0 edition will be coming on PS5 and Xbox Series XS. So I'm very excited for that one. Now, on June the 24th, which is tomorrow at the time of releasing this video, the 7 Days to Die 1.0 experimental branch goes live for everybody. So if you want to check it out before then, what you can do is simply head into your Steam library, go down to properties, and then beta participation, go all the way down, and it'll be experimental unstable build. So I'm currently already on this because we got early access for the streamer weekend. So the footage you are seeing in the background is 7 Days to Die 1.0. The 1.0 has some absolutely amazing features coming to it. Loads and loads of improvements, bug fixes, loads of quality of life improvements, and some pretty awesome stuff. So there is a hell of a load of things there. I might do a really detailed breakdown when 1.0 comes out, and I've sunk my teeth in a little bit more. I've only got a couple of hours in it so far. But a lot of the key points are new character models, which have a much more detailed character creation system now. They also respond better if you're watching them in third person now. So it just makes that feel a little bit more polished, a little bit more lively, which I really do quite like. As well as adding new character models, there have been loads of plant and animal character model revamps as well, to make things look smoother and blend in better with the terrain. Now, also, there's a new gore system to go in with some new revamped zombies. One of the key revamped zombies is the new demolition type, which the demo zombies were just, well, dickheads anyway. But now they've had a major improvement, which make them a little bit bigger dickheads. So, yeah, those things will still blow the crap out of your base, but they'll just look better whilst they're doing it. And when it comes to the actual world and the creation itself, they've improved the random world generator and added new biomes and moved things around a little bit on the pre-made maps that are already in-game. So if you were used to some of the old layouts, they will change a little bit and make things a little bit more difficult if you are a pro that's played it for a long time and know exactly where to go. Now, they've switched it up a little bit, so it does add that little bit more excitement to it. They've also done a lot of work trying to improve a new player's experience in 7 Days to Die. When you do come on, it is relatively simple, and if you are a person that likes a little bit more fast-paced stuff, it can seem a little bit dull at first. But now they've improved a few things, and you can go your own way, really, rather than following the original journal storyline that they had set up. There's now a new challenge system, which has replaced the journal, and it allows you to be a little bit more creative in which way you want to go at the beginning of the game, and then helps you with some of those later features as well. The original journal pretty much got you to a trader and then left you to do your own thing. Now there's new ways to go about pretty much everything, and this journal caters to even some of the expert 7 Days to Die players. So I do like the new challenge system. It is quite cool. Now, to go in with that, they've also got a brand new overhauled trader system, which helps guide newer players in a little bit better than the old traders did beforehand. There's also a brand new tiering system to how trader missions are now carried out, and some voice lines have been changed and improved for a lot of the traders that you'll come across, which is quite cool. Now, the new tier system works on points, so you'll get 1 point for doing a tier 1 mission, and then to get to tier 2, you will have to gain 10 points. So each mission you do will be 1 point, so you'll have to do 10 of those missions. And then the next one, you'll have to do tier 2 missions, which you'll get 2 points for, and you'll have to do another so many amounts of those. So the higher up it goes, the better off the rewards and the gear that you are going to get. And these tier levels are now also transferable. So it doesn't matter which trader you go to, you will always be at the same trader tier. So you'd always have access to those high-end missions, even if you start at one end and start with that trader and then go up to a new one, which is good news, and it saves you a hell of a lot of time. There's also been some major overhauls to crafting and how crafting works, including reducing some of the recipe items for a lot of stuff, and you will now receive a few more bits and bobs that are helpful from a trader at the start of the game to get things moving in a little bit of a faster direction, such as things like shovels to do some of the trader's missions. So it will help you speed things along with the crafting, and just having a lot of those recipes improved upon and made a little bit easier to create, and in some cases harder to create for some of those high-end items. Now, there has been a major overhaul to how tier 6 items work. You cannot find them out in the wild anymore. They are now only craftable items. So the best of the best, you will have to gain a lot of resources to get that top one, especially when you move further down the creation chain and you've got some of the higher end items such as the hole cutter, the auger, that's the word I'm thinking of, and things like that. To get those tier 6s, you're going to have to work a little bit harder, not just based on luck, which is a shame because I was very lucky in 7 Days to Die, apart from our latest 7 days run on Dishung Tower. Now, alongside the crafting system, there's been a massive overhaul to the armor and vehicles. The armor system has taken a massive revamp, reducing the amount of items now and adding a little bit of pluses and minuses depending on whether you've got the same sets of certain items. So the crafting for armor is still pretty tough. You're better off finding a lot of the armor systems, but myself, I've just normally been lucky and found some good shit. So hopefully I still have that luck, because crafting it has become a little bit more complicated now. Now, the vehicles have also had an overhaul and some major quality of life fixes. The vehicles are made to be a lot better, a lot smoother. They work a lot easier on a lot of the surfaces and aren't as janky as they were before. Now, they still are a little bit janky, but nowhere near as what they were before. And with the performance updates, the frames per second whilst driving is vastly improved. I think a lot of the issues that I had, especially back in the day, with vehicles was that the FPS just tanked, and then you'd be a bit all over the place, especially if you were in tighter areas. That has improved over the years and made to look a lot better, work a lot smoother, and they've also added a few mods to this, which is brilliant. A lot more mods for the weaponry and the vehicles, so there's a lot more things you can do. There's 2 new vehicle mods and a whole host of weapon and tool mods. So that's great news, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck in and finding all of those. They've also added loads and loads of changes and performance updates to make things much smoother, especially when it comes to FPS on PCs. The game should run a hell of a lot smoother in highly occupied areas and buildings as well. They've changed the way that they load things inside buildings, so you don't really see what's going on in there now until you're inside the building itself, which makes things work a little bit better. So beforehand, if you were a while away, you could still look in a building and see things loaded in and stuff like that, which did impact performance. But now they've taken that apart, so buildings are pretty much their own entities as you go into them. And even if it is a highly occupied building, such as Dishung Tower, it should work a hell of a lot better, and you'll receive a lot more frames per second, even if you do have a lot of zombies and hordes coming near you. And with the performance fixes, there's tons and tons of quality of life improvements, especially when it comes to stuff like crafting, making those recipes a little bit better, and loads of other bits and bobs when it comes to inventory trading. All of that stuff, there's tons of QOL fixes to this. It would probably take a good 40 minutes to go through all the QOL and performance updates that they've done to 1.0. And then last but not least, of course, it wouldn't be a brand new update without some new POIs. They've added a few new POIs, along with, as I mentioned earlier on, shifting around some of the items and how the things are going to be working in biomes and stuff like that. But adding new POIs, new places to explore, is one of the things I love about 7 Days to Die. Finding a new building and seeing what absolute shit show is going on inside there when 75 zombies crawl out of the ceiling. Absolutely love it, and that's one of my favourite things about it. So that is it for today. Very sorry once again that I couldn't make the stream a weekend. I'm not even sure if this video will go up as and when I intend it to. Hopefully it does, but we'll have to wait and see. For now, though, we're going to wrap that one up there. I've been Wyatt. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you with some more 7 Days to Die very soon.